In the crowded hallways of Beirut International Airport, NASA officer Jim and his four-legged companion set off on elevated train track. On this particular day, a typical routine would turn into a mysterious tale surrounded by the planned turmoil of travel and goods. Patrol Jim, a German shepherd with a finely tuned nose, generally went about his tasks peacefully. As they got closer to a fairly ordinary suitcase from Ukraine headed for Beirut, Jim's ears perked up. Despite the bag's unimpressive appearance, something about it caught his attention, and he hesitated before running in its direction, leaving Officer Jim K. confused by NASA. His behavior was out of character. Instead of his usual forceful barks, he let out a faint whine and quickly knelt down in front of the suitcase officer. Nessa, who had years of expertise, understood the significance of this strange conduct and realized it suggested something more than what they typically found. The shepherd flinched every time he sniffed around the very imperceptible openings in the box that was moving from Ukraine to Beirut, as though struck by a horrible stench that his handler was unaware of and worried about possible risks. Officer Nessa summoned the bomb disposal team to examine the suspicious package. Clad in protective gear, the team led the box into a separate room away from bystanders. Tension increased as the police exchanged curious and anxious looks. As the bomb squad inspected the box, Jim remained unusually animated, his tail wagging urgently, reflecting the seriousness of the situation. Eventually, a sigh of relief reverberated through the room as the package was declared free of explosives. But the mystery remained as to what had caused Jim to react in such an unprecedented way, tracing the box's tiny holes. Officers observed a slight odor coming from them. Jim had certainly noticed something strange, and the police decided to open the box together, not knowing what they would find. However, before we find out what they found, watch this video. As the lid cracked apart, the police saw something that was unexpected. Al would want to help us reach 10000 likes and subscribe to the channel for more. Officer Nasa was momentarily rendered speechless when the box was opened, and the 3 Siberian tiger cubs, startled by the sudden light, were huddled together inside the sawdust-filled crate. The revelation of the cubs' presence revealed a story that went beyond their training and threw them into an unfamiliar world of animal negligence. As the cubs were slowly removed, the truth of their situation became more and more apparent. The tiger cubs that were born in a Ukrainian zoo and were headed to Damascus were intended to be traded, but instead they were left in a cage without the necessary attention. They had messy fur and were dehydrated, showing the wounds from their ordeal. Compassionate police made the airport a more comfortable setting for the tiger babies by providing them with blankets and drink. When animal control came, they relocated the kittens to a secure location where they could get the care and attention they needed. The cubs of the tiger, now called Maya, despite their difficult beginnings, Tanya and Anton were given a second chance at life by committed caregivers and veterinarians. The rehabilitation process included social development in addition to physical and emotional restoration. Maya, Tanya, and Anton eventually adapted to their new settings, their personalities developing as they investigated their surroundings. As you may already be aware, animal trafficking has a profoundly detrimental effect on both individual animals and entire ecosystems. For example, traffickers often target species that are endangered or threatened with extinction by removing them from the wild, disrupting ecosystems and negatively affecting biodiversity. Animals subjected to trafficking often suffer greatly during the process, being captured using violent methods and kept in unsanitary conditions during transportation, as was the case with these tiger cubs. In addition, animals involved in trafficking often receive no care or attention. In the worst cases, they are even mistreated, and many of them pass away before they reach their destination because of stress injuries or illnesses. The illegal trade of protected species, which violates national and international laws intended to conserve wildlife, is a major component of animal trafficking. In addition to being against the law, the capture, transportation, and trade of wild animals can contribute to the spread of zoonotic diseases, which are illnesses that are spread from animals to people. Trafficking in wildlife raises the possibility of disease transmission, which poses serious hazards to public health. The loss of these species can have serious cultural, spiritual, and ecological repercussions because many of the species that traffickers target have substantial cultural and ecological value, and may be crucial to indigenous cultures' traditional practices and ecosystem functioning. Among other things, global biodiversity and animal welfare are seriously threatened by animal trafficking. When Maya T and Anton took their next steps toward a life closer to their wild heritage, they served as a reminder of the tenacity of animals and the ability of compassion to overcome adversity. That day at the airport, Officer gave NASA and the world a glimpse into that. But Jim saved the tiger cubs. This story also raised awareness, which is crucial to making a change. Numerous others were moved by their remarkable tale, which further strengthened the call for vigilance in the protection of wildlife. How do you feel about the story from today? Please share your thoughts and positive remarks for Jim, who was such a good child, in the comments section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one. See you later.